Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chapter Environmental Pollution. Topic is water pollution. Water pollution can be defined as any human action that impairs or damages the use of water as a resource. Pollutants, the substance or agent that cause the pollution. Pollution of surface water, groundwater, and the ocean is of major concern. The major water pollutants are: first one is the biological agents that is pathogen in the sewage. Second, chemical agent, for example organic matter, industrial waste, fertilizers, pesticides and insecticide. Third one is the solid waste, and fourth one is the heat. Environmental concerns of water pollution includes: first one, epidemics of waterborne diseases. Second, eutrophication. Third, oxygen depletion. Fourth, metal toxicity. Fifth, effects of undissolved solids. And sixth is the effect of heat. First one is the epidemics of waterborne diseases. Epidemic mean occurrence or spread. The waterborne diseases such as cholera and typhoid occurred worldwide throughout the history. Their epidemics start because of the contamination of drinking water with the disease causing agent because of the activities of human being in the groundwater. Second one is the eutrophication of water, the overloading of water with the inorganic nutrient salts such as nitrates and phosphates. These substances are added to the aquatic ecosystem indirectly in the form of phosphorus and nitrate containing organic matter, or they can be added directly as a pollutant, for example detergents and fertilizers. These nutrients support algal growth that results in the algal bloom. एल्गल ब्लूम क्या चीज़ है? जब कोई भी वाटर बॉडी उसकी सरफेस ओवरऑल एल्गी से कवर हो जाए तो वो जो ये हमारे पास कहलाता है एल्गल ब्लूम, एंड फिनोमिना इज़ नोन एज द यूट्रोफिकेशन. एल्गल ब्लूम होने की वजह से एक तो सनलाइट वाटर बॉडीज़ में प्रेजेंट प्लांट्स तक पहुंच नहीं पाती, इसके अलावा हमारे पास ये एल्गी ऑक्सीजन जो है वो मैक्सिमम अमाउंट में यूज़ कर लेते हैं. वाटर बॉडीज़ में जो लिविंग ऑर्गेनिज्म प्रेजेंट है उनके लिए ऑक्सीजन की डिप्लीशन हो जाती है या ऑक्सीजन का लेवल रिड्यूस हो जाता है, और ये रिड्यूस लेवल ऑफ ऑक्सीजन हमारे पास फिशेस के लिए, ज़ूप्लैंक्टॉन्स के लिए और बाकी तमाम लिविंग ऑर्गेनिजम्स के लिए जो कि वाटर बॉडीज़ में प्रेजेंट हैं उनके लिए टॉक्सिक है. थर्ड इज़ द ऑक्सीजन डिप्लीशन. एडिशन ऑफ फॉस्फेट promote the plant growth that in turn leads to the accumulation of organic matter. The decomposition of this organic matter leads to the reduction of oxygen level because the oxygen is utilized by the aerobic microorganisms. The oxygen depletion can be measured by the BOD. BOD stands for biological oxygen demand. Biological oxygen demand is a quantitative expression of this oxygen depleting impact on the living organisms. This depletion of oxygen leads to the death of fishes and the zooplanktons. Fourth one is the metal toxicity. Inorganic toxic chemicals like arsenic, which comes from the insecticides, cadmium comes from the electroplating. What is electroplating? It is the process that create a metal coating on a solid substrate through the reduction of cation of that metal by means of direct electric current. Cyanide and mercury. All of these metals, they results in the toxicity or poisoning the water, toxicity of the water or make the water poisonous. Next is the effects of undissolved solids. It affect the water physically, decrease the water quality by clogging or blocking the waterways and making the water cloudy. Last one is the effect of heat. Water has high heat capacity. It affects the life in water in a variety of ways. First one, every organism has a temperature tolerance range. At some point in their life cycle, there is a temperature sensitive stage. For example, in the case of fish trout, eggs take 165 days to hatch in a cold water 10 degrees centigrade. The eggs will hatch in 1 month if the temperature rises to 12 degrees centigrade, and they will not hatch at all if the temperature rise to 15 डिग्री सेंटीग्रेड. मतलब वाटर बॉडीज़ में हमारे पास जो ऑर्गेनिजम्स हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल ट्राउट फिश, उनकी एग हैचिंग के लिए हमारे पास सर्टन टेम्परेचर रिक्वायर्ड है. अगर टेम्परेचर में 2 to 3 डिग्री चेंजेस भी आए हमारे पास तो एग हैचिंग प्रोसेस जो है वो इफेक्ट होता है. सेकेंड इज़ द हीट इंक्रीज द सॉलिबिलिटी ऑफ सर्टन केमिकल्स while decreasing the solubility of gases such as oxygen. Third, metabolic activity increase decomposition speed ups the oxygen utilization, thus causing the oxygen depletion. Second chapter, concept of ecology. It is the second chapter of the book. Also in the syllabus it is second chapter. What is ecology? The study of interaction between organisms and their environment. Ecology is derived from a Greek word oikos, mean home or place to live. Logos mean understanding. Level of organization. Ecology can be considered on a wide scale, moving from an individual to an entire global system. The subdivisions are organisms or individual, populations, communities, and ecosystem. Now the definitions of different terms. First one is the species, an individual that can interbreed and produce fertile offspring. Breeding means mating that results in the production of offsprings. Another is the organism. Organisms may be either unicellular or multicellular. In the case of multicellular organisms, group of cells unite together to form tissues. Tissues combine together to form organs. Organs combine together to form systems, and systems form a complete organisms. How individual organisms interact with their environment? By the adaptation in their morphology, physiology, and behavior is known as organismal or species ecology. Third one is the population. Organism of same species living in the same area and sharing same resources. Characteristic features of population: size, density, that is mass per unit volume, dispersion, the way individual of population are arranged. You can see in the diagram, they may be either arranged uniformly, known as uniform dispersion. Another one that is randomly dispersed in the environment, known as random dispersion, or they may be present in the form of groups or cluster, known as clumped dispersion. And demography, it is a statistical study of population that relating to the birth, death, and migration of species. Other attributes or characteristics includes gene frequency. The frequency of an allele is defined as the total number of copies of that allele in the population divided by the total number of copies of all the alleles of the gene. For example, आप एक प्लांट अगर लें उसमें डिफरेंट करेक्टर्स प्रेजेंट हैं, उनके लिए डिफरेंट अलील्स और जीन रिस्पॉन्सिबल हैं. फॉर एग्जांपल हाइट ऑफ द प्लांट, लीफ पैटर्न, फ्लावर कलर्स, आइदर प्लांट इज़ यूनिसेक्सुअल और बाइसेक्सुअल. इसमें से आप किसी भी एक करेक्टर के लिए जो अलील सेलेक्ट करें, फॉर एग्जांपल हाइट ऑफ द प्लांट, वो एक स्पीशी के जितने भी ऑर्गेनिज्म हैं वो एक करेक्टर और एक अलील आप सेलेक्ट करें, उसको डिवाइड करें बाय दी ऑल करेक्टर्स और अलील्स हमारे पास जो हैं डिफरेंट करेक्टर्स के लिए जो अलील रिस्पॉन्सिबल है उन पर डिवाइड करें, तो ये रिजल्ट जो आपके पास आएगा दिस इज़ नोन एज द जीन फ्रीक्वेंसी. अनदर इज़ द एज डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन. Distribution of various age groups in population, for example young or immature, adult or mature, old or elder. Population density, measurement of population per unit area, simply mass per unit volume. Population pressure, the force exerted by a growing population upon its environment. Gene flow, it is the exchange of allele between two or more population. For this reason, it is sometimes referred to as allele flow or gene migration. While migration, animals often carry new alleles from one population to another. They must interbreed with new population for gene flow to occur. In the image below, a beetle from the population of purple beetles migrate to a population of brown beetles. This is the example of gene flow. Study of population growth, regulation, Intraspecific and interspecific competition is called population ecology. Intraspecific mean same species के दरमियान and interspecific mean एक ही genus के दो different species. It concentrate mainly on factors that affect population size and composition. Next is the community. Different species living in the same area and sharing same resources. Interaction present among the community. Predator prey interaction means शिकार करने वाले और शिकार होने वाले. Symbiosis that include commensalism in which one organism is benefited, other is neither harmed nor benefited. For example, Nyctotherius, a protozoan, lives in the hind gut of cockroach, gets food and shelter from the cockroach. Mutualism in which both the partners get benefit. For example, bacteria in the digestive tract of human being and the bacteria present in the digestive tract of cattle releasing the enzyme cellulase that digests the cellulose. And in the case of human being, bacteria produce vitamins that are used by the human body. And last one is the parasitism, relationship between host and parasite. For example, parasite on the human body is lice and inside the human body plasmodium. The study of community is known as community ecology. Ecosystem, it is the interaction between living and non-living components of the environment, means biotic and abiotic. The flow of energy and nutrient recycling is regulated in the ecosystem. Flow of energy means energy taken up by the plants from the sunlight, and the energy of the plant further transported to the animals and human beings, and after the death and decay of the living organism, energy is transported to the decomposers. Nutrient recycling, the nutrients are taken up by the plant roots from the soil. After the death and decay of plants, animals and human beings, all these nutrients return back to the soil and they are again taken up by the animal. This whole phenomena is known as the nutrient recycling that occurs by means of different cycles, for example nitrogen cycle, phosphorus cycle, carbon, sulfur, etc. Habitat, a region where an organism lives. Niche, how organism live, means specific role or any particular species play in an ecosystem, means कोई भी organism किसी जगह पर किस तरह से रह रहा है और उसका क्या रोल है specific region पे. This is known as niche. Biosphere, it is the part of the earth containing living organisms. Some of communities and ecosystem include both living and non-living components, biotic and abiotic components, extend from the bottom of ocean to upper atmosphere and amounts to a relatively narrow belt around the earth. What is a belt? It refers to a layer of charged and energetic particles which is held by the planet's magnetic field, means electromagnetic waves.